into it, really. As we are going to start off in the top left-hand corner of the map from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. We are going to have our red Protoss player Zest. His opponent in the grand final, best of 5 final, is Team NV's Bunny in the bottom right-hand side. Game number 1 then, and already Zest is the aggressive player. I said this might be kind of an aggressive series. Bunny likes to play some aggressive stuff, but Zest as well really has, at times, brought out a lot of aggressive things too, so I'm excited to see what the hell we're going to get ourselves up into right now. Let's start off by building a gateway and getting that placed down at the front here. Probe going to move up and going to go nibbling SCVs a little bit as well. Just going to be seeing the probe backing away a little bit, so pulling this back. And obviously, Bunny, big issue for him is no scout currently. He's going to send his SCV down to expand. And he is just completely blind to what is happening. He has no idea what's going to happen here. He's in some serious trouble, huh? He is in some serious trouble. Just not knowing about this first Zealot, I mean, he's going even a Marine instead of a Reaper. Reaper has at least a little bit more kiteability against this kind of stuff, but this is rough. We just expand back at home as well, and the Max Pex is well underway here in this game. Very well underway, in fact. Yeah, this is actually gonna be brutal, I think, because these first 2 Zealots show up. You don't really have anything to help now? Like, what are you working with? Well, you've got a Marine into a reactor. I actually think this is a cancel on the command center, and that alone is already putting you into a lead here as Zest. You know, with that alone, you're just simply happy with with what you've done. Proxy is already good. So, yeah. Actually, very narrowly gets through this depot. In fact, might get through this depot. Morrisby's just got to repair in time. This is actually kind of close. Stalker, if it shoots the depot instead of the other units, would actually probably break it down. I mean, he's just killing units from the other side. But like I say, he's actually going to get through if he just had targeted the freaking depot a little bit sooner. Oh, nice hold position on the SCVs to deal some damage. Bunker is up. And these Zealots are in, though. I mean, this is more than just disaster for Bunny. I mean, how did it get this crazy? I think he couldn't repair the depot because the bunker was blocking the 3rd SCV from repairing. That was, like I say, definitely not the prettiest situation in the world. And looks like Zest is going to run off with a pretty strong advantage to start things out. Bunny's just going to type GG. He's going to start losing the bunker. It does seem as though things are going to be ending there in favor of Zest. So Zest takes first game, 4 minutes. Epic start. In the bottom left-hand corner, our pink Protoss player, who immediately sends a probe out onto the map, is going to be Zest. Zest, we're not going to try and do the same thing twice, are we? We're not just going to do the same thing 2 games in a row. That would be a little crazy, right? Right? Yeah, a little crazy. Top right, our blue Terran is Bunny, and I'm sure he would like to have anything of a better start than what he had that last game. Because that last game was far from pretty for him. It was not an enjoyable experience, I'm sure of that. Well, this time the probe just shows up super quick to be annoying. It's going to nibble the probe, double check there's obviously no super early proxy. I mean, this is a very early probe to send out just for this, but we'll start to give him at least a little bit of information at the very get-go. Probe still being nibbled at. As obviously just again trying to force SCV. I mean, you are forcing SCVs to chase it around as well, right? So that's also a win. You've also got your, you know, the Terran player wasting mining time too. So ain't all that bad, really. Actually works out pretty okay. As you do have the probe back out this time. Going to start leaving. I mean, Marine or Reaper can start now, and if it's a Marine especially, you're going to run out of time to stay in this main base very quickly. And realizing that just finds a good time to bring that probe out of there. Obviously, it's also time to expand, so I guess that's maybe more of the reason. Block the expansion a bit, and then also have that probe away from Marine production, etc. So that probe in the middle of the map. We do see a command center of Bunny just coming through, so expanding to the natural expansion. Factory on the way as well. I'm just going to be having our reactor now also beginning as our warp gate comes up on the cybernetics core. So bringing that up, just going to see the SCV and start to move forward a little bit. Going around the bottom right hand corner. Not really going to see too much. Just gonna hold the watchtower. Might bring it back into play here. As the starport, as the factory finishes, you could build a starport proxied. Maybe that's the plan. It's kind of a far off proxied starport if he's gonna build it here. I mean, obviously still proxied. It's gonna come in from the natural side of things as well, which is also kind of intriguing. Okay, I'm interested into how this goes. Meanwhile, Zest has a pylon across the map, and well, maybe just tries to do something with this. Yep, gonna build a gateway there. So he's gonna have a reinforcement point very close to the Terran base. And we'll absolutely look to keep up the pressure. As we go to 3 gates. Twilight Council is done. I was assuming blink, right? And then you kind of blink pressure. Could there be Dark Shrine? Maybe it's possible, but I think it makes more sense just to go blink and just keep the pressure up with blink, which is what he's gonna do as we saw that blink upgrade starting. So getting that set up now is all the depths come back in, bit of damage being done. Those depths are going to shade, excuse me, up in toward the natural, and I was going to go for a fresh mule here. That is a very healthy mule that just went down. Another SCV falling as well. Those few Hellions are just going to go and force that Adept to shade all the way out of there, so Adept is going to end up leaving. Well, I mean, as the Hellions come across the map, obviously you know about the Hellions at least. We do have the medevac, which is lying in wait. The Hellions delayed initially. Uh-oh, Stalker's gonna get 1 shot, 2 shot, but doesn't get the final shot, so the medevac lives and the Hellions are here. Hello and welcome to the mineral line. 2 workers down, and now gonna get a few more. 4 workers killed, 5. Okay, not devastating amounts of damage, and a full cleanup for Zest as well. 6 workers killed, really not that bad. Let's see what the counter damage does now, though. As Blink is about to be done, Stalkers are moving across the map. We've got the Warpins that can start over here, too. First tank isn't ready yet, and Bunny is realizing he does not have a lot of units here. He's building double bunker on the high ground, another bunker low ground. He realizes that he is in some trouble. He needs to buy time for the tank to get out, and even then needs some aid with the siege tank to really make this work out. Blink in, first bunker goes down immediately, and this natural expansion is already broken. Bunny is not in a pretty position in the slightest, guys. He is in quite some trouble, in fact. As we're going to be seeing this orbital command lifted up and forced away. A few probes going down, the Liberator was coming into play, and that did some damage before being turned around. So that's where a few of the probes on the map have gone down, just in case you're wondering what's happening there. But Zest putting Bunny down at 1 base is obviously a bit of a statement right now. And that's going to put Zest into a great position, because this wasn't even like overly committed. Just 3 gates, you got a robo behind it. Yeah, you warped in a fair amount of Stalkers, but you didn't even need that many to just break down the first bunker. It wasn't multiple warp-ins. Absolute madness. Madness, madness, madness. Hey, thank you so much. A Damage 17 says here's to many more 4 months on the 4-month resub. Thank you so very much for resubscribing. I really appreciate it. As always, thanks for supporting the stream and directly supporting this event by subscribing as well. Thank you. Stalkers find the starport, so the starport ain't going home. It's going dead. Bye-bye. As it gets shot down. Step back and combat shield build. Still building on up here. As you do have the starport, like I said, about halfway done at the moment. Plasma attack and the charge continue to come on through. So we've seen a few stalks continuing in. Just going to be grabbing a marine. A couple of marines. Taking damage there. Observer going to be hanging out overhead. Second Liberator came through as well. Now we've got 2 libs just hurt. Sitting in the bottom corner here. And I'm not really sure how we evacuate these effectively. Not sure how you kind of try to get those out alive, in fact. So that's kind of fun. We'll keep an eye on these guys and see if anything happens. Meanwhile, the Stalkers are still having a bit of a party across the map as well. Uh-oh, the Stalkers, though, not going to quite grab the Marine tank as soon as it moved out there, which is a little concerning. Going to start skirmishing with it now, as they do get a shot or 2 off, and they blink back, but now blink on cooldown and loses a Stalker, which is, of course, a little bit unfortunate as well. So, a bit of back and forth for the moment. Let's see these Stalkers with the Zealots now going to try and meet this army very far forward. Only 1 tank sieged. Zest does not do very well there, though, and that's going to be an issue because there's a lot of tanks here from Bunny. With that amount of tanks, I'm pretty sure we can actually just go straight through and probably keep this up, although the Zealot's charging again. Still tanks unsieged here. And now Zest is going to clean this up. Wow, I actually thought Zest was going to be in a lot of trouble, but then tanks weren't sieged. Zest just gets a few more Zealots, which are good against the tanks as well, of course. They're probably the most important part of that. And that's going to be game number 2. Unfortunately, Zest is just going to steamroll through, and that's just our second game already. I wasn't actually quite expecting that to be quite as one-sided as it was in the end, to be honest with you guys. I thought Bunny was actually going to be the one. Most parts of the world, and if not everywhere, they definitely are working on other places still, I believe, but in general now it's a bit different price to sub to people. They've normalized the price that's basically relative to where you live, which is really cool. Giving more people the chance to subscribe and support the stream and stuff is generally pretty awesome, so hell yeah to that. As in the bottom right corner, a pink Protoss player from Dragon Phoenix Gaming is Zest, leading 2-0 and just having a ball of a time. As in the top left-hand corner, our blue Terran player from Team NV is Bunny. Well, again, that probe showing up really early. Zest just wants to have this probe across the map right from the get-go, no matter what, apparently. The probe going to turn it around and come back for a little bit. Again, it's getting to that time where maybe you want to block the natural. You got to be aware of the units that are building and so on. There's a couple things starting to be a thing here to be worried about. Command center. Going up on the natural expansion. Let's see a reactor building, and that's where the probe just comes in to check, sees a marine. It's just knowing at least that there's an expand on the way is good. It's a nice thing to double check, just in case something weird's happening and you didn't quite think to check it, sometimes that actually is a thing, so nice to just double check, make sure you know what's up. So yeah, expand comes down, Bunny expanding, Zest expanding. You see Zest continue to make an adept here. And then waiting to see another Adept on the way. So double Adept opening. And that will be some pressure across the map, poking over and trying to get something done, I imagine. That will be the goal early. So working on that already. That gets turned around pretty much right away. Flag Council finishes up, and we do have our starport building in the main base as well, so that is coming through. Both those adepts will cancel up that shade. I'm just going to be seeing them moving forward then. Blink being chrono boosted out. Zest is pretty consistent, right? Just blinking it up every time. Obviously didn't really see it build in game 1, but in game 2 just go and blink then charge. I mean, if it works so well, why not keep on doing it, I suppose, is kind of the logic. This time Bunny not proxying up a starport or going for any Hellions or anything along those lines, so it will look a little bit different in that regard, at the very least. Zest poised to expand to the third base as well, so just able to make that happen, get that set up. And Bunny just going to add an engineering bay and extra racks. It really is kind of a fairly straightforward game thus far. He comes a triple Widow Mine drop though, so first chance to maybe really get some damage done. Feels like Zest is well prepared in terms of initial positioning. Set up on this natural. Should be able to deal with this well. Medevac taking a bit of a blast right away. Couple mines going down. Probe gets killed there, and another mine does get taken down. Wasn't that great in the end, huh? What have we got left? Nope, no Widow Mine remaining. I was just wondering if he had one left over. My mind momentarily forgot whether we'd seen 2 or 3 die. But yeah, no, not one left over, so can't drop in the main. We are going to chase that. Medevac's low HP. It's going to boost. The Stalker was there. Has Blink again in a second. Not going to get there. Medevac survives. Always good to keep the Medevac alive if you can, naturally. It's generally just going to be a bonus. And keep it alive, right? That's general rule of thumb in Starcraft 2. If it doesn't have to die, don't let it die. Engineer Bay has the +1 attack upgrade coming in as well. We do have the destination of Zest just picking up some info in the main base, but otherwise, I'm pretty okay throughout this. Unless we do have our Temple Archives. Maybe finishing soon from Zest as well. So again, the Temple Archives finished up. We do have Charge already on the way in. Plenty of additional gates coming through. That's how we set up at the moment. Big Wardy wisdom. I know, and you wonder why I'm not Grandmaster League, right? I mean, cranking out beauties like that. If it doesn't need to die, don't let it die. You know, who would have thought I'm not ranked GM? Oh yeah. So, someday, guys, someday. Still there's one Stalker kind of poking around, trying to see a little bit more of what's going on. Watching for this attack, but he's actually going to have Storm ready, and I love that he's gone Storm because it also means he's got a High Templar, so you can actually deal with the Raven with the feedback as well. So in general, it just looks very, very good here for our Protoss player Zest, who's obviously up 2-0 as well. One map away from just winning this out, taking home the $300 first place prize. And obviously that would be generally pretty nice for him. So looking good in that regard, as we do have our Stalker being chased away that little bit. Here comes this big army of Bunny. Can he push through? Can Zest hold with the Storm? That's what we are soon to find out here. Well, first Storm's gone down immediately. The Stalkers are just move commanding, though. That's not going to do it. Yeah. Actually, I thought that the first Storms were alright, but then why were the Stalkers move commanding? That doesn't make any sense. Well, This is going to be that much tougher now, because your Stalkers are kind of units you need to keep alive. Yeah, I think Bunny's got this one, guys. We just pushed straight on through on Lightshade. Yikes. That's not a fight you really want to talk about again, is it? I think I'm going to show it on the replay, because I kind of can't quite believe what just happened exactly. So it's coming through to try and hold on, and Zest is, well, not going to have the numbers to do so. See all of his tech going down here as well, so yeah, oof. It's not meant to look like that, my friends. It's not meant to look like that. Let's see, Widowmine's still burrowing up. 2 probes haven't gone down. I mean, Bunny just being a little bit cautious about how quickly he moves on forward here and not going too soon or anything. Not going to let Zest get a silly kind of return in this. He is going to blink forwards with the Stalkers. Widowmine hit the Warp Prism once, but that's not enough to kill it. Widowmine is going to unburrow. Yeah, as soon as you get through the Zealots, right? I mean, the Stalkers just do not stand a chance against this army. GG, and Bunny is going to bring it back. Quick little rewind, just have a quick look at how that fight went and what happened from Zest. Just the move command. Do you have a chance without the move command? Moment too soon. Do you have a chance without the move command? It was going to be tough, but actually, yeah, if he blinks to the left here, if he storms here and here, blinks left and kills the tanks? Oh man, like, if he could have killed both the tanks, the Raven, he could have completely destroyed this attack, and he was just not doing the right, I mean, dive on in. Bottom left-hand side, still up in the series, but a bit of a misclick on that fight that last time around is Zest. He probably could have had a 3-0, but unfortunately, it was not meant to be. It was meant to go to this game 4 as Bunny keeps himself alive. It was a fast first 2 games. Bringing it back. Nice to see getting himself settled in this finals finally, but well, no room for mistakes. Needs to win the next 2 in a row to win the tournament. Alright, well, early probe is once again here nibbling and causing trouble. I think game just gonna be pretty standard again, just gonna get that expansion up, still going for Marine first here. Bunny, so staying pretty resistant with that. AFK casting. It's just been going for 4.5 hours, and we've seen a similar opening to what we've seen 2 times in a row now, I guess. So just taking a moment to rest the vocal cords ahead of our actual exciting stuff coming through. Because right now, not a lot's excuse me, not a lot going on right now. With localized sub gifting, how does that impact content creators? And gifted subs? Does 100 gifted subs from US versus Taiwan equal different revenue? I would imagine, I don't know actually, how it works on gifted subs. Like, I would imagine so, because I imagine gifting a sub is like, I imagine you still gift subs at a lower value, right? Unless, like, gifting a sub is still the same value as before. I have no idea right now. But yeah, like, it's kind of funky, right? Because 100 gifted subs could be hundreds of dollars difference now between different locations, you know? Just disappointing. Thank you for gifting a sub added. 1 HP, no potion. Dark Shrine opening from Zest, switching it up then away from that blink for this fourth map. This is very popular on Oxide. It's a good map for Terrans. Those tank pushes are really good, and one of the things that can shut that down and keep the Terran back are the DTs. And we see these used a lot in this circumstance because of that, so it's kind of cool. Let's do have our two Adepts just battling with this Hellion to try and stop it finding too much, and just trying to chase it down, make sure it doesn't cause any trouble. I think that's a kill. It is. Nice shade on top, and it does guarantee that there. Our two Widowmines are going to load up, and they're going to start making their way in that medevac across the map. Tech Lab's on the way on the factory and the starport. We'll see if we do indeed go Raven. Nowadays, it's a very common occurrence. And he sees the Warp Prism. Seeing the Warp Prism, he says, you know what, I'm just going to pull back. Isn't going to keep on moving through. Is just going to respect the Prism very early. I mean, Widowmine drop scene as well, so this is kind of funny. They're just watching each other right now. I guess the idea is if the Warp Prism stops to siege and to warp in, the Widowmines can burrow and just stop it from doing anything. So the DT's actually warped in at home. It's a very awkward situation, huh? We don't see this one a lot. Well, it's definitely unique, and now because the DTs are so late, the Raven will be out before a DT even gets here. What a weird way for this to play out. DTs do show up at the front, and the Raven finally gets to the front to defend that, as the DTs get saved by the Prism. So finally the awkwardness is over, and the game continues a bit more as expected. And Nex is building up on that third base, and a couple of Archons morphing in right now as well. So we are going to see just straight at Archons on the follow-up and use those for harassment generally. Although the Warp Prism just left them. The Warp Prism just flew away and left the Archons in the middle of the map. That's not usually meant to happen. Usually the Warp Prism's meant to pick those up and kind of take them with it, though, you know. Alright, well now Zest is on his way to his blink. Obviously will be delayed on Twilight upgrades, but has the DT, so hopefully do a bit more to slow people down a bit. And then there is setting up, as we do see the medevacs moving around the top side. As the medevac moves around, we'll see if Bunny can find a good attacking position. Zest is going to go for like a blink Archon attack. Uh-oh. Ooh, I tell you what. Kind of getting away with murder there, because those medevacs were loaded up not so long ago. Now he kind of blinks for the nice dodge of the Widowmines. He blinked for the Raven, and so he took a Widowmine shot, but he dodges the other two Widowmines beautifully. Zest is going to do a lot in this main base, but he has got the other medevac still out on the map that he has to deal with at some stage, but he will kill this one. A tank low ground means probably stay in the main base. And he's just going to sit on top of the production and try and make life as difficult as possible for Bunny, as he's going to get a turret on the side, clearing the way out a little bit more easily. Bunny scans across the map and sees a fully saturated third base, and it's probably a little bit like, what? You have a full third behind this? Like, it's the all-in check. He's like, how dead am I? You know, if this is a two-base all-in, okay, I can hold, I can do okay. With the fact that there's a third base saturated in mining, probably not quite the same situation, huh? And that's a little bit brutal, but such is life, as we do see those Stalkers getting chased out of there. Warp Prism is hanging around and sitting with them as this Rax is going to relocate. I mean, Bunny just finds himself down 25 workers. Really cool attack from Zest, and beautiful micro against the Widowmines to nullify their effectiveness as well. Did a really, really good job of that. Additional zealots and a couple of sentries will warp in. Our medevac's coming around that upper side as well. Seeing where they can go to. They'll start going down the right-hand side of the map at the moment. So away they go. See everything else gathering up on the south. This drop cancels a fourth base. That's pretty neat. There are SCVs going down as Zest Prism came back in for a moment or two on the natural expansion. I mean, Bunny's advantage right now is really mobility over anything else, right? The ability to drop around, split his army up pretty nicely. That is the one strength that he can kind of own in this game still. Otherwise, there's not really... He's not really got that much else going for him, you know? There he goes, this army moves through. We're going to be seeing this, a lot of this army being chased away, and Archon goes down. Just needs to set off these Widow Mines without it being too disastrous. They unburrow, and they will now go off on a couple very low HP Zealots. I don't know how effective that really was. As Stalker's blinking through, Medevacs and Bioun's being chased, Bunny will GG, and Zest is just going to be. Honestly, I think Zest really just rocked it this entire series. A mistake in Game 3, a massive mistake, but overall,